Introverts and extroverts. Everyone is one of them. Although, some people are more extroverted, some are more introverted, and some are a mix of both. Introverted and extroverted personality types both come with different sets of pros and cons. As an introvert myself, these pros and cons have always interested me. My career goal as of right now is to be a business owner, and I'm interested in finding out what strengths and weaknesses I might have in this career. From what I have found, introverts may have many strengths and weaknesses that affect them in this field, and there are many ways that an introvert can improve their performance in this career. My name is Michael Landsman, and today I will be answering the question, how can being an introvert impact success in business careers? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, introvert is described as a person whose personality is characterized by introversion, a typically reserved or quiet person who tends to be introspective and enjoys spending time alone. While an extrovert, on the other hand, is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a person whose personality is characterized by extroversion, a typically gregarious and unreserved person who enjoys and seeks out social interaction. According to an article from February 23, 2018, by Emma Featherstone published in The Guardian, 65% of senior corporate executives surveyed viewed introversion as a barrier to leadership. For an introvert like myself, this is a very concerning statistic to come across. Is there a real basis to this distrust among well-established leaders in the ability of introverts, or is it simply a bias that these corporate executives have? Could it be that they just do not know any better? Segment 1. Advantages. Contrary to what I expected to find, introverted people actually do have many advantages over extroverted people in business careers. According to an article from July 22, 2022 by Kwame Christian in Forbes.com, introverted people have a couple important advantages over extroverts. One of these advantages is that introverts tend to be better planners. According to Kwame Christian, this is because introverts usually spend more time thinking about what they're going to say before they actually say anything. As an introvert myself, I can back up this claim. I often find myself thinking twice before I say anything in any situation. This is a natural behavior trait to intuitively plan out situations that introverts tend to have, whether it is actually necessary or not to do so, and it can work out in their favor when making decisions for their business. Also, in an article from October 11, 2021 by Carl Moore and William Lee in Harvard Business Review, it is claimed that introverted people are oftentimes better listeners than extroverts. This is actually due to a couple of reasons, some reasons positive and some reasons negative. One of these reasons is the natural ability of introverted people to listen to other people talk while not saying anything or interrupting them. However, another reason for this is that it is common for introverted people to have some form of social anxiety, which often forces them to listen instead of talk in social settings. These factors can make it much easier for introverted people to listen in most situations than it is for extroverted people. Also, because of this skill that most introverted people possess, they are subsequently able to build deeper relationships with people than extroverted people are able to. As an introverted person myself, I can also back up these two traits as being true. I have been told that I am a good listener by many people, most likely because of my ability to just sit back and listen without opening my mouth. I would also consider my circle of friends to be small but meaningful. By this, I am saying that I don't have a ginormous amount of friends, but the friends that I do have are all very important to me. Introverted people have many skills to offer that can help them in a business career. These skills include being excellent at planning things, being great listeners, and the ability to build deep relationships with their colleagues. Segment 2. Disadvantages. Although introverts have some advantages over extroverts in business careers, being introverted in this career still might not be ideal. As I stated earlier, in an article from February 23, 2018 by Emma Featherstone published in The Guardian, it was claimed that 65% of senior corporate executives surveyed viewed introversion as a barrier to leadership. As a result of my research, I have found some very strong evidence in support of the majority of senior executives on that claim. An article that I found very interesting was an article from June of 2021 by Andrew Spark and Peter J. O'Connor published in the Leadership Quarterly. In this article, it was found that extroverts had significant advantage in overall leadership skills when compared to introverts. Having good leadership skills is a very important part of being a business owner, so being an introverted person could possibly hinder a career in business. Also, I decided that I wanted to talk to an actual extroverted business owner on how being extroverted has helped them. I would like to introduce the CEO of Rolex Vans, Mike Harris. Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So first I'll have you say your name and your occupation.
Mike Harris. occupation, president, owner, Rolex Vans.
Okay. Would you consider your personality introverted or extroverted?
Great question, because I feel like I'm a little bit of both, but definitely extroverted.
Okay. And why would you say that? What about you would make you extroverted?
Because I enjoy being around people. I enjoy groups of people.
Okay.
I enjoy people.
Okay. And would you say that there's any traits, or like anything about your personality that has helped you be like a business owner or a business leader?
Well, yeah, if we're going to talk about being an extrovert, just having a business of 100 people, I enjoy our employees, I enjoy our customers, so it's not like because that's an enjoyable thing, I like reaching out to people. I think that's made it easier. Whereas if I was introverted, I think it might be tougher for that personality.
Yeah.
At least in the role that I'm in, I think our personalities, we can definitely do different things, but the role that I'm in, it's fit me.
Okay. And then, and if this question doesn't really apply, you don't have to make anything up. But is there anything about your personality that you would say puts you at a disadvantage as a business owner?
Well, I don't think, I would say from a technology standpoint, Michael, I don't think I'm the most savvy.
Okay.
I'm fine with it, but yeah, I think that puts me at a disadvantage to where I need to rely on other people and make sure I have the right people around me that can manage different parts of technology.
Introverted people often lack the ability to be strong leaders when compared to extroverted people, which can affect a career in business negatively. Segment 3. Using disadvantages as an advantage. Now it is clear that while introverted people have some advantages in business careers over extroverts, there are also, in my opinion, some concerning disadvantages. This leads us to the question, is there anything that an introverted person can do to improve upon themselves to lessen these disadvantages? According to an article from May 16, 2017, by Maggie Farrell published in the Journal of Library Administration, both introverts and extroverts have the potential ability to be good leaders. In this article, Maggie Farrell stated, proactive employees may thrive with an introverted leader who will listen and appreciate their participation in the decision-making process. What Farrell is saying is basically that introverted leaders are sometimes a better fit depending on what the needs of the employee are. So if you are introverted, you can still be a great leader as long as you use your strengths to your advantage. For example, back when I played soccer, I was the captain of my team. One of the things that I would do was listen to all the problems or suggestions that my teammates made about the way we played. Then after listening to all of their input, I would suggest changes that we could make about the way we played to the coach. Even though my strengths were not the typical extroverted strengths that are common in leaders, I was still able to use my strength of being a good listener to my advantage. Also, according to an article from June of 2021 by Andrew Spark and Peter J. O'Connor, published in the Leadership Quarterly, which I mentioned previously, there were some very interesting results regarding this. In this study, there were 601 participants in total. The vast majority of these participants ended up having better leadership skills when they were told to simply act as if they were an extroverted person. This was regardless of whether or not they were actually an extroverted person or an introverted person. So, even if you are an introverted person like me, even just acting like an extrovert when necessary can improve your leadership skills, which can help a person in a business career. Although there are some disadvantages in business careers for introverted people as compared to extroverted people, these disadvantages should not cause an introverted person to avoid this field of work. Conclusion. My original question was, how can being an introvert impact success in business careers? The answer to this is somewhat complicated, because being an introverted person can affect a business career in many different ways. Being an introverted person can affect a business career in positive ways because introverted people naturally have some traits that can benefit them. These advantages that introverted people have include being great listeners and great planners, and having the ability to build deeper relationships than extroverted people usually would be able to. However, introverted people can also have some crucial disadvantages. One of these main disadvantages that introverted people face is that most of them are naturally worse at being leaders. However, there are things that introverted people can do in order to reduce this disadvantage. To answer my question, being an introvert affects a career in business in positive and negative ways. However, introversion in this career often does more help than harm.